All right. Thank you guys. I appreciate you being here today for my lesson plan. The lesson plan that we're going to do today is how to create and write a short poem. Okay. One thing I like about poems, they can be, they can rhyme, they can be a list, they can be as your sheets that we handed out. They can be poems that have ing at the end of them, like blowing, snowing, freezing, misting, when they're talking about maybe an event that when you were up in the mountains, and using those type of words to describe what you're trying to get across in your poem. The other type of poems are acrostic poems. These type of poems are when you use the letter, okay, of the word, okay. Reading is fun, even though I get sleepy and want a snack. Donuts sound good. So then when you read it up and down, it spells out the actual word read. That's an acrostic poem. There's certain types of other poems, listing poems. These are where you have line 1 would be the topic. So in this example, it's mother. And then on lines 2 through 10, the words that describe the topic or word. So for example, mother, and then words to describe her: she's kind, she cares for us very much, she cooks in the kitchen, she cleans our room, and she's a very loving mother. Okay? Other type of poems are haiku. An haiku is where you have 3 lines to the poem. The first line has 5 syllables, the second line has 7 syllables, and the third line has 5 syllables. The example to that would be, the sky is so blue. It looks like blue, blue water. I love to watch the clouds. Okay? And then there are some poems that are fill-in-the-blank poems. So, roses are red, violets are blue, oranges are sweet, and so is what would it go in there? And so is I'm not sure how good that goes with that. Okay, so the next page you have is your poetry terms worksheet. Basically it says that poetry is an art form in which human language is used for its aesthetic qualities in addition to or instead of its notional and Semitic content. Below you have commonly used terms when you're building a poem. The alliteration, the repeating of the same beginning sound is more than 2 words. So for example, below it has David's, dog, dug, a ditch. As the other examples there, and I'll just let you read those when you go into your groups. I also gave you some examples as what we talked about before, the haiku poem, and using the 575 syllables. The next one would be the acrostic poetry. They used the example there. And then there's a couple examples. The next 2 pages are I wish poetry worksheet. So you can see the examples there. And I've also put in a listing poem example, and then the last one would be a rhyming worksheet. So today, in your groups, I want you to think about a time in your past when you had a very good day. So, using an example of a very good day. Something that brought you a lot of joy, and build a couple sentence poem about that very good day. As we discussed before, think about the multiple intelligence principles, the 8 categories, worksheets that you have, and try to pick out a few of those examples as you go through your group action. Okay? Do you have any questions?
And it can be any kind of poem?
Can be any kind of poem you want. There's many other cases like limerick poems, there's rhyming poems, there's a lot of different kinds. So if you have a favorite poem, like I'll give you an example of a poem that I brought. Have you guys seen this? This poem, this is a very well-known poem. This is the Footprints, and this one's the Footprints of God. This is actually was given to me by a friend of mine at church, and I really love it. So after you guys get done, I'll read this poem to you, and then you guys can recite yours to me as well. Sound good? So let's break, why don't you guys converse with each other and come up with some good ideas, and then think about a poem you could write about a very good day.
I got one done.
I have a hike already done.
Got it? Okay, you ready? Awesome. You guys are quick. Okay, so.
We were working on our thoughts.
Okay, great. So Larry, why don't you go ahead and recite the poem to us, and then tell us what were your thoughts on choosing that particular poem.
Writing poetry. So many different styles. Poetry is hard.
That's great.
I love it. Yeah, that's very good. It is. I love it.
575.
That is.
575. There you go. So
Nailed it.
you nailed it. Yeah. So you used the haiku form. Great. Perfect example. That's awesome. Okay. And
That wasn't describing a very good day, though.
It was not. No.
but it's okay. It's okay because
But I nailed the haiku.
he nailed the haiku, so that's okay. Well, using a very good day is just an example. You don't have to use that, I guess, if you don't want to. So go ahead and read yours.
So mine was a listing poem.
Okay.
So I thought summer. Green grass, tons of sun, fragrant flowers, fresh fruit, ice cold drinks, long days of fun, bike rides and picnics. I love summer.
Perfect. Good job, you guys. Awesome. You guys, excellent use of poems and their styles and their structures. I would like to just read to you this one, The Footprints of God. In deepest sleep one night I dreamed that on the beach I walked. God was by my side each step, and we talked. Then on the sky my life was flashed, the visions all serene. 2 sets of footprints in the sand were there in every scene. But then I noticed in some scenes of suffering, pain, and strife, just a single set of footprints at the worst times of my life. God, you said you'd stay for me in good times and in bad. Why then did you leave me each time my life was sad? My precious child, God answered, when your life had pain, I knew the single set of footprints were the time I carried you. So, what type of poem do you think that one is?
Well, it had some rhyming.
Partial rhyming poem, yes. This one could fall into a couple different categories.
Well, it had metaphor too.
Metaphorical poems, okay. There are poems that are metaphors, correct. it could use partially personification.
Yeah, some.
Okay.
I would return to the earlier poem we heard, writing poetry, so many different styles.
Yes.
Poetry is hard.
All right, and then the last thing, look at your multiple intelligence principle sheet and tell me what principles in the 8 categories do you think we used in this lesson?
Certainly, haiku is mathematical. It wouldn't not necessarily chronological, but in a set numeric order,
Yep.
5, 7, 5.
Mm-hmm. Okay, what other ones do you think we used? Would you say we use verbal linguistics? Certain structures of poems, putting them in different categories
Maybe.
or in a word, phrase, or puzzle format? We did a little bit of that.
A little bit, yeah.
A little bit of synonyms for the words.
Yeah.
Certain words that were the same as the basic structure of the sentence.
Oh, I was gonna sing it for you, but I couldn't pick a good tune.
That's true.
Um,
I think we used a little bit of naturalistic in there.
Maybe, yeah.
Was the natural order of the word. Okay. All right, well, thank you so much, class. I really appreciate it. You guys did great. I love your listing poem and your haiku poems. They were great. So give you guys a good hand. Those are awesome. All right, great. That one, how long do you think that one lasted? I don't know.
13 minutes, 23 seconds.